Okay, good morning, everyone. I'm Mayor Dane Slater, and on behalf of the Troy City Council, I want to welcome everyone to the grand opening of the Daisy Knight Dog Park in the P. Terry and Barbara Knight Park. 3 years, we finally did it. Congratulations to everyone. Before we get started, I'd like to introduce some distinguished guests that we have with us. Mayor Pro Tem Ellen Hoderick is with us this morning. Councilmember Edna Abraham. Councilmember Ethan Baker. Councilmember Paul McCowan. And Councilmember Ed Pennington is with us today. Councilman Dave Henderson would be with us, but if you happen to look at his Facebook page, you'll know exactly where he has been for the last week. He's having a great time over in Ireland. Also with us this morning is City Manager Brian Kishnick. Good morning, Brian. City Attorney Lori Bloom. I know I saw Lori back there. Good morning, Lori. Is State Senator Marty Nolenberg here yet this morning? He'll be here shortly. His dog held him up this morning, I believe. County Commissioner Wade Fleming is here this morning. Good evening. Good morning. Commissioner Doug Teets is here. And Commissioner Gary McGilvery is here with us this morning. And I saw State Rep Martin Harlick is here this morning. I saw Martin somewhere.
He's right
Good
there.
morning, Martin. We are so grateful to North Point Development and Stonecrest Senior Living for their generous contributions. And I'd like to talk a little bit about them because they are an important part of what we have here today. As part of Stonecrest Senior Living Center development, North Point Development constructed an 80-space shared parking lot, which is right over here, with lighting, a sidewalk along Livernois, internal sidewalks to city property, a detention basin, and of course a beautiful fountain on the city park property. So thank you to Stonecrest and North Point. Thank you so much for what you've done.
Yes.
And of course, we have another wonderful donor, and we wouldn't be here this morning if it wasn't for Barbara Knight Gardner, who's here with us. Thank you so much, Barbara. She made a very generous donation in the memory and recognition of her husband, Terry Knight, who passed away in 2015. Terry was the Distinguished Citizen of the Year in 2011 and made so many significant contributions to our community. We miss him dearly. We also thank the Kiwanis Club of Troy and the many donors we've had through the crowdfunding. Please take a look at the donor board to see the names of our major donors, as well as the donors' names on the benches and the fence posts. Many of the donors are with us this morning. If I could get you to just raise your hand if you're a donor here this morning, please raise your hand and be recognized. Thank you so much. And of course, be sure to visit the vendors who are here today with treats for you and for your four-legged friends, more importantly. Thank you to Caliber Home Loans, Fresh Time, Good for Me, Kimball Animal Hospital, Longview Boarding and Grooming, Rex Point Kennels, Scrubbers, Sit Means Sit, Smart Pet Love, Stonecrest, Tim Hortons of Troy, Troy Grooming, and Zip Leash. Thank you all for doing what you do to make this what it is this morning. And of course, we want to thank the Zion Christian Church for coordinating the dog rescue organizations and the pet contest, which I hope everyone will join in today. So before we cut the ribbon for the Daisy Night Dog Park, I'd like to call on some special guests to say a few words. First, I'd like to call on City Manager Brian Kishnick.
Thank you, Mayor and City Council and Barbara Knight, for all your contributions and everyone's support for this project. It's a great partnership, and I know the mayor's talked about it many times, as has City Council. But there's a lot of people who were involved in this, and it didn't just start yesterday. It started about 3 years ago when city staff, Brent Savedant and Mark Miller, sat down with the Stonecrest people to look at this development right here. Thank you very much. But sat down to talk about this development, and we had this city property right here, and the collaboration came to do the dog park as part of this development, and they were contributing. And I just have to say, Stonecrest never wavered. They were a yes from the beginning. It made this project so easy to come together. It was one of the better projects we've ever worked on. And if you look in the neighborhood and the region just around you, look to your left, you can see the quickness of their development in this area vis-a-vis other projects, and that's a real testament to their organization and their experience, and they were true to their word from the beginning. But this just isn't a dog park in Stonecrest. This is part of more of a regional area for development when we tie in this trail and pathway, which has been the mayor's major project and major priority with the Civic Center, so you can go all the way up to Waddles on this path. Well, people are doing it now, but once it's paved, it'll be a lot easier, and tying in the Civic Center project. So, but it doesn't just happen like that. There's a couple of people I want to recognize, and I'm sure I'll miss somebody, but so many city staff people were involved in this. It's amazing behind the scenes what goes on. And Cindy Stewart does a great job organizing things like this so we can come together and say thank you and come as a community to recognize such a great project as this. I will tell you, and those from Kiwanis and probably internally, I have a confession to make. When they started talking about a dog park, I was not the most excited guy in the room. I did not have a dog, didn't see how great it was going to be. So since then I have a dog, and so I think it's one of the best things that's happened to Troy. Now my dog is the worst behaved dog in this whole place, so I don't know if he's going to go in the dog park. But having said that, Ashley Levin was a big part. I don't know where Ashley is. I saw her earlier. Can we just raise your hand, Ashley, of organizing behind the scenes all of the invitations to come here and doing all the marketing behind it. So Ashley did a great job, and nobody would ever see the work that she did or ever know that she did it. And then lastly, this started as a development project, as we talked, but it turned into a real passion for somebody in the DPW, and that is Kurt Bolvenseep. And I know Kurt's here somewhere. I saw him back there with his child. I didn't know he was a big dog guy. I still don't know if he's a big dog guy, but I know he's a park guy. So that's why this really became a passion. So last year, if your streets weren't plowed, it's because he was doing the dog park. So I'm glad everybody's happy for the dog park. This year, your streets will be plowed. Secondly, with Kurt Bolvenseep, I don't know where the donor board is. It's can somebody point it out to me? It's if you look at the donor board, those aren't just bricks that are going to fade away and be washed away. They are, Kurt, what are they? Brass or they're brass that he did himself at no cost to the city. So Kurt is a real city guy who really cares about the city of Troy, as do we all, right? But he puts his money where his mouth is in his actions. So let's give Kurt another round of applause. Enjoy the dog park and have a great day.
Thank you, Brian.
Yeah, thanks, buddy.
Thank you, Brian. The dogs are responding to your speech. I think what Brian said it resonates with me because this is an example of public and private coming together and doing something together. And many times private can do things better than public, and public can do things better than private. And this is just a perfect example of how we can work together to accomplish something that's best for our city. So it's just a great project. And to piggyback on Brian, I just want to mention all the volunteers that have come together to get money for this park and make this what it is. If it wasn't for the volunteers in the city of Troy, we wouldn't have a city. So thank you to all the volunteers. Thank you. And now I'd like to introduce Jeff Harmon, who's the Director of Maintenance with Stonecrest of Troy. He'd like to say a few words. Good morning.
Morning. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Good morning, everybody. On behalf of Stonecrest Senior Living and North Point Development, I welcome everybody here today. We are here this morning to say that we are a proud sponsor of this Daisy Night Dog Park. I would like to thank our mayor and all the members of City Council for all their support and making this event possible today. And also I would like to thank the DPW. I've been watching them all week, and they've been working tirelessly to get this event prepared and get the park ready for today. So thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Jeff.
Thank you.
And now I have the distinct honor of introducing probably the most important person here this morning. As I indicated, we wouldn't have this dog park if it wasn't for Barbara. So it's my pleasure to introduce to you, in my honor, Barbara Knight Gardner.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Troy Dog Park. We have one. It's here. We're ready to go. I want to thank everybody also. This was a huge effort. A lot of work went into this. I know Kurt Bovenseep, under his direction, did a marvelous job pulling this together, and I'll forever be grateful for that. I called him earlier this week and said, I happen to have an oak tree that needs to be planted somewhere. He said, I'll go get it and get it planted. So the first tree is right here. And it's a strong red oak tree. So thank you, Kurt, for getting that done. I really appreciate it. They did apply for a grant, and they won it, and a lot more trees are going to be planted even yet this fall. So that's fabulous. Fred just cannot stand this. He cannot wait to get in there. Fred is a rescue from the Detroit Dog Rescue. He was born in a junkyard in Detroit. And a dump truck driver saved or rescued him, which was the most traumatic day of his life. Sit means sit, right? Thank you. That's a good boy. We have 3 dogs, and one of them is not fit to be here. He's 15, and he's got a police record. His name is Rocky. He's so darn cute. Everybody thinks he's just adorable, and he's not. And then we have another one who's just a little too rambunctious, but we'll bring Pudge along eventually. I just want to welcome everybody and thank you in remembering and honoring Terry's spirit. I love talking about Terry. We love talking about those who have walked before us and have set such a high standard. We're very, very pleased. Our entire family is here. His daughter, Kimberly, is here from Chicago, right here with my granddaughter dog, Zoe, who's 14. My mom is here. My kids are here. It's great. And I just want to welcome everybody. Have a nice time. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, Barbara. That concludes our ceremony this morning. We're going to get ready to cut the ribbon and officially open the Daisy Night Dog Park. Isn't that great?
Get Fred in there.
Fred, sit. Okay, we'll make this.
He's a good boy. Sit.
Okay, look at the camera.
Now everybody look at Fred.
Fred.
Everybody ready?
Yep.
1, 2, 3. One more time. One more time. Pull it tight, guys. Yeah!